very rare. She sees everything from the smallest stars to the biggest heart, seen her from afar. She moves through the night, the everlasting light. Trust, make her, wear, break her. Even when she's angry, she's a risk taker. Protect her, child protector. She can fly into the sky, give people life, protect them to life. She can dance, dance with the stars, shoot back so fast, cast away. Olympia, 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 Olympia,
Good evening and welcome to the fabulous Medway Stand Up to Racism Refugee Fundraiser. What a great way to start the night. Some brilliant music there from the Rainbow Project. Thanks to those young people for sharing their talent. I'm Vince Maple. I'm really proud and honoured to have been asked to act as MC tonight. Don't worry, not a modern style MC. I won't be rapping. You'll be pleased to know. We've got some phenomenal entertainers for you tonight. Some people who've got some really passionate and powerful stories. I really can't wait to hear them. Tonight's really important, not for just spreading a positive evening of entertainment and the stuff that we need right now. And these are difficult times. But also it's about fundraising for Care for Calais. And we'll hear more from Andy from Care for Calais later on tonight. So throughout the night, you will have an opportunity to donate through PayPal. The information will come up on the Facebook screen, I'm told. Can I, before we formally start, say a huge thank you to the whole team at Medway, the whole team, it sounds like it's 5,000 people, to the team at Medway Stand Up to Racism. This is not an easy feat. It may look very simple on your screen, but it absolutely is a technical wonder that we're here tonight. In particular, thanks to Ivor, who is going to make sure that everything looks good and sounds great. So that's me formally passing all the blame to him if it goes wrong later tonight. I say we've got a brilliant lineup of acts. So we're going to get on straight away to the first bit of entertainment. And then throughout the night, you'll be hearing some of the things that are going on, both here in the county of Kent. Most people will be aware, of course, of the situation at Napier Barracks, and we'll definitely be talking about that before the end of the night. But we're going to hear some very personal stories as well. So again, stick around. If you can't stick around all night, I believe this will still be up on the Medway Stand Up to Racism page afterwards. So if you have to dip in and dip out, if you're doing other great things on a Friday night, you can certainly see what's happened and what is happening, but also you'll be able to donate throughout. So without further ado, let's get to our first brilliant performer. And we are starting. This is the Wonders. As some of you will know, I was very proud to and continue to be involved with Medway Love Music, Hate Racism. And occasionally we'll have people from perhaps other bits of Kent. We might even get someone from London, slightly further afield. Medway Stand Up to Racism is blowing that out of the water in the first 13 minutes. We've got somebody from Santa Fe live live on Zoom. That is pretty phenomenal. So a huge thank you to Catherine, who's going to join us in a moment. Brilliant, talented performer, singer-songwriter, also health consultant and artist, you know, all of the skills, but really looking forward to hearing Catherine tonight. So please put your virtual hands together. If you've got a clap icon, get that going as well. Put a big thumbs up on Facebook for Catherine Hiesiger.
Yes, as Vince said, I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's the oldest city, or the second oldest city in the USA. We're about 270 miles from the Mexican border. And fortunately, Santa Fe has welcomed immigrants for 400 years. Approximately 15% of our population in Santa Fe are new immigrants. And we have been designated as a sanctuary city, which means police officers cannot ask anyone for their status. If they are undocumented, it doesn't matter. State agencies can't use public funds to help federal authorities in deporting individuals, which I think is great. I wish we had more cities like that. So for those who are listening who are immigrants, this is for you. You're the brave ones among us. And I chose these songs that I wrote about difficulties in life and how love can ease these difficulties. So here we go. This song is the wrong one. This song is called Our Love Carries On. In the darkness, there's a light I can see, a distant harbor that beckons me. Sails tattered and torn, but I've weathered a mighty storm, was tossed by the sea till love rescued me. In the tremble of a new baby born is a prayer for more kindness and warmth. We stumble and crawl, but it's love that can catch our fall. So we come back for more, that's what we're here for. Someday when my life is over, what will my friends say? Did I give my heart freely or lock my love away? Every flower in its own time must bend before it withers, sends its seeds to the wind. New flowers will grow and remind us of what we sow. Long after we're gone, our love carries on. Thank you. This is next one is called Change Isn't Easy. I think most people can relate to this. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. Seems like when I try to change, I wake up feeling so afraid and wonder what I'm doing wrong. It's not like I haven't tried to alter how I feel inside or find the map that shows where I belong. Some frightened part of me clings to the past desperately, hunkered down behind an old facade. It's like I'm on a sinking ship. I hang on and bite my lip, hiding somewhere on the promenade. Change isn't easy, it's hard. Boneyards and eulogies, epitaphs and destiny. My hourglass is running out of sand. Master plans and brilliant schemes illuminate my deepest dreams, but in the light of day they have no chance. I think I need salvation, not the kind on TV stations selling redemption like used cars. Supplications on my knees with prayers and pretty pleas. I may as well be wishing on a star. Change isn't easy, it's hard. I ruminate way too much. My worries leave no space for love. Indecision drives me to despair. Old habits, they die slow, and sometimes they never go. Maybe I can be repaired. What now beckons me is some greater mystery, searching for answers in my soul. I'm a pilgrim in the forest, birds sing a holy chorus. I hear a message I already know, that change isn't easy, it's hard. Change is hard. Change is hard. Thank you. This next song is called "Where Love Is Found." I was in a difficult space mentally, and I wrote this song to change that, which it did. So here it goes. My heart these days is like a tomb. It's a dark and dreary space. Nothing lives there, nothing blooms. Used to be a pretty place. It's a long way down before the ground breaks my fall, breaks it all. If I cry out loud, will angels come round to take me home where love is found? and fantasy are luxuries of youth, hopes and dreams of what could be, disappointed by the truth. It's a long way down before the ground breaks my fall, breaks it all. If I cry out loud, will angels come round to take me home where love is found? This frozen ground's too hard to plow. The wind blows bitter cold. Another harvest year gone south. I can't reap what I can't sow. It's a long way down before the ground breaks my fall, breaks it all. If I cry out loud, will angels come round to take me home where love is found? To take me home where love is found, where love is found. Thank you. Okay. Okay, this next song is called All Alone. It's kind of my COVID song. Okay. I'm all alone. The birds have left today. I'm all alone. The summer went away. Heaven is so far beyond the furthest star, and so is love, and so is love. I'm all alone. The trees forgot my name, so all alone. The breeze, it could not stay. Heaven is so far beyond the furthest star, and so is love, and so is love. I can't seem to find the peace that once was mine, but this I know. I think I know. The clouds will lift when it is time, and love will once again be mine, and love will once again be mine. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. It's such a privilege to be here and play for you. I have one last song called Love Come Home that I co-wrote with a friend of mine, Brian Johnson. And I know you're going to enjoy the rest of this program. So stick around. It seems like such a simple thing, yet it can melt the heart of any pauper or king. We think we'll recognize it, but it often comes disguised, and it's gone in a blink. Love, that's all I ever wanted. Love, that's all I'll ever need. Love, come home to me. At times it may divide us, and some days we despise it for the hurt it can bring. Despite the pain, we try again because we want to hear our hearts sing love's sweet refrain. Love, that's all I ever wanted. Love, that's all I'll ever need. Love, come home to me. You never know when life will end, though I have heard that love transcends all that we fear. It echoes far behind us like a shooting star, reminds us of the light that was here. Love, that's all I ever wanted. Love, that's all I'll ever need. Love, come home to me. Love, love, come home to me. Love, love, come home to me. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much.
Incredible, incredible there. Huge virtual and actual applause for Catherine. Brilliant, brilliant set there. What a way to start tonight. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us. I'm trying to work out, I'm guessing it's around about midday or 1 o'clock over there?
It is 12:33.
There we go. Hooray for that. And hooray for sharing your lunchtime with us. That's very, very kind of you. And I was just thinking about the fact that you mentioning obviously Santa Fe where you are. It triggers in my mind that thought of the musical Rent. Let's go and build a restaurant in Santa Fe.
Oh,
So there we go. So
I
that's
had
helpful.
no idea about that.
There we go. Bit of musical theatre on a Friday night. Catherine, if people want to hear more of your music, where can they catch that?
Right now, I'm not out there, so I'm making a record this year, and so hopefully in the next few months I'll have one out.
As soon as you've got those details, pass them through, and I know we'll share them. There's lots of you can't see it yet because you've been working hard playing, but there's loads of amazing comments on the Facebook feed as well, so you'll see that. Someone's referred to it as the equivalent of an Indian head massage of music. That is a pretty wonderful compliment. So, Catherine, thank you again so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing your record later in the year.
What a privilege. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thanks very much. Stay safe. Stay safe.
You too.
So we're going to move straight on. What an incredible way to start the night off, live from a different continent. Somehow very appropriate, I think. Fantastic. We're going to have our first guest speaker tonight. So as well as great music and great donations. And can I thank you, everybody out there? There's a target. I think the target was £250 to fundraise to help care for Calais. You'll hear from Andy later on. I can confirm he's in the electronic dressing room as we have here on Zoom, so you'll hear from Andy later on, but we're already up to I think £190 donated, so huge thank you for everyone who's donated so far. The PayPal link will be going up. I'm sure if it hasn't already, it will be going up again. You can donate as little or as much as you can. If you can't donate today, if payday is later in the week or month, the link will still be valid, so please do that. And I know every single pound that's donated will go and to help people who will never probably get the chance to say thank you for that support. So thank you again. So we're going to go to our first brilliant speaker. Now, this is the word inspirational is used a lot, but I'm very lucky to know Aram, and he's a brilliant Labour councillor. He's volunteering in his community, campaigning. But 20 years ago, Aram was there fleeing Iraq in the back of a lorry. He's been taken to a mountain camp in northern Iraq, previously in Kurdistan, and tortured by extremists after refusing to train as a suicide bomber. And that incredible journey, we'll hear now from Aram. And thank you so much for joining us today. I know Aram had a big council meeting last night, so the fact he's here today is brilliant. And then I'll have a couple of quick questions for you. So Aram, the floor is all yours. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you to Midway Stand Up to Racism for having me in this great event. And then thank you to everyone to set up this event. This event is close to my heart. And I'm proud to follow that great music and share a platform with great people like you. And thank you for the introduction. I go straight into this. Don't want to take everyone's time. I care about the people has got no land. I care about the people, their country's been divided and been taken away from them because I born another Kurdish. Our country divided after First World War. We had our own language, we had our own religions, and that is all taken over by those countries we were forced to be part of it. They often made us to not even understand each one's dialect, never mind to use the language. In some part of like the Kurdish people in Syria, in Turkey, they even not allowed to name their shops in Kurdish. They're not allowed to study in Kurdish still in the 21st century. That's why I care about the people, their countries being divided, and I fight for them the same as many people on this panel. 1999, I arrived in this country as asylum seeker, and that's why I care about refugee. I know what they feel. I care about the asylum seekers. They try to find somewhere to be safe. Unfortunately, it's not easy for everyone. I spent 7 days in a back lorry to get somewhere just to be safe. When I arrived to UK, as the Sun and Daily Mail telling the people, I didn't have a big storage house and a car waiting for me. I was sent to the hotel. I was not allowed to have a hot meal for 2 months. And that is 2 whole months eating cold food. So if I see today someone on the street in this cold weather with no food, I feel for them, because I know I may not be on a street, I may have a roof over my head, but I didn't have a hot meal to feed my stomach. I didn't have a hot meal to warm me up. So sometimes things attach to you and that stay with you. That wasn't easy to learn English. I arrived in UK speaking Kurdish, Arabic, Persian. Then I have to find a way to learn English. I went to the college to learn English. English is not easy language. For a long time, I was looking for a room with a chicken instead to looking for a room with a kitchen. And then nobody was giving me a room with a kitchen because I was asking for a chicken instead of it. But eventually, I learned the language by mixing with people, by getting out in there. So when they look, asylum seekers arrive to the country, that is the mistake this government doing, because you're not teaching them to learn about the culture, where tomorrow if they have a right to stay, they wouldn't be able to understand the culture. And then when they do a mistake, they will put them in the prison. They say they break a rule. Back in 2002, I was lucky to get a first job as a translator. Yes, I learned English, and then I find out it's difficult to stop speaking it now. But I'm going to try to stick to my time. I start working as a translator with Migrant Helpline down in Dover. So we had 3 offices in Ashford, in Margate, and we deal with asylum seekers arrive to UK, and we introduce them to the British culture. We will brief them about the British culture, their right and responsibility. So they couldn't just go, if they break a law, go stand in a court to say, I didn't know. Today, when they lock him in an old army barrack, they can't understand that. And then where the problem will be start after this. The government need to start to think about it. They cannot blame anymore on the EU because they came out of EU. They need to start to build a new fair immigration policy that apply to everyone arrived to this country. In 2003, I joined many people where in Kent probably is now listening or probably is on a panel. We joined the anti-war movement. Was what Saddam has done to the Kurds, was what I care about the people being genocide, because 5,000 Kurdish were bombed in Halabja by Saddam's army. But at the time, I did agree with Iraq war. And probably today, some people will understand why I didn't agree with the war at the time. And I think many people in the Labour Party as well, they believe that wasn't a right to do. Anyway, not going to the details of a politic, going back to 2005, I got a refusal on my case. After almost living 5 years in a country, then they decided to ask me why I am in a country. I had a work permission, I had a national insurance, paying a tax, working, volunteering in a community. And I always went out. I believe I should give something back to the community. And I am sure many asylum seekers, many refugees, if they have a chance, they will do better than me. I am not the one and only. They do much better than me in a community. But if that chance not been given to them, they cannot do it. I was lucky at the time the government allowed asylum seekers to work before they get the decision on their asylum claim. 2006, they detained me. They refused my asylum claim on a base. Iraq is safe, and I done so much good in the community I live. I should go back and rebuild Iraq. When I went to the Court of Appeal, I told them, George Bush and Tony Blair, they went to the war. Why you not send them to rebuild it? Why should I go to? But That didn't work. They refused me 3 days after the Court of Appeal, and they let me carry on working until I was detained. I was detained in 2006. The community kicked off. And I say community, that all over the UK, all the way to Scotland, all the way to Wales, 12 cross-party MPs got involved. Jeremy Corbyn was one of the leading MPs involved in that. Tony Benn. I was lucky in 2003 when I went to the anti-war demonstration in London. I meet Tony Benn, and I meet some other great speakers and socialists at the time. They all come together with the community. They fight with a big publicity. They managed to get me out after 9 days of detention. Then government decided, if I go back, they will give me £2,000, but if I stay, they will give me nothing. Well, I had nowhere to go back. If I go back, I would get killed. So I went on TV. I took that as a chance to tell the taxpayers' money should not be given to people to go back to their country to be killed. They should be given to someone sitting in their living room worried about putting heating on, spending on the schools and NHS, not given to somebody go back and be killed. In 2010, they decided to review my case. And I put a fresh claim in. Then they decided to give me a status in 2010. So I had an indefinite leave to remain. Then it come 2011. I need to become a British 1 year after I got my decision. I didn't know. If I know how many national parks in UK, I'll become a British. If I know what age school start in Scotland, that will make me a British. Yes, I didn't pass by 1 point, then I have to pay again to go back and do the second test. Second time I pass. Then I told the media, I said, you can't make people British by knowing who is the Henry the First and the Second. If you want to make people British, you need to welcome them. Let them work. Fill those job gap. Let the people mix with the community. Give something back to the community when they're waiting for their asylum claim to be decided. That is where you become a British. That is where you mix with the people. But when you scare the people and lock them away, and they don't know that when they come out, they will be finding a way to start where I'd started in 2002. They could just start today. And then by the time you decide they can stay or not, you could tell them what they can do or what they can't. In 2014, I joined the Labour Party because Nigel Farage decided to become an MP in the South Senate. And many people across the country, it came down, joined, stand up to UKIP, and we not let him to come back to here. We even give him a one-way ticket to show them he cannot ever be our MP. Those are racism group managed to escape into Senate. Over the years, I've been living in here 20 years. I've seen National British Party. I've seen them to come back in One Lives Matter, White Lives Matter. They had the first demonstration in Senate in all EU. The first demonstration in EU was in Senate, and they thought if they started here with Nigel Farage to stand, they will grow up. But everyone across Kent, they came down and they show them we are more than them. We not stand for racism. In 2017, I decided to stand for KCC election. in a seat where it wasn't winnable seat. I stood against the leader of a Thanet District Council, was at the time led by UKIP, by 364 votes, where he never forget that number. I put him in the 3rd place. I may not win. I came in a 2nd. But I assure them, an ex-asylum seeker can put him in the 3rd place. And that is hit the national news and it stole the election result and went even to the French and Dutch newspaper. In 2019, I was elected as a Labour councillor. And the first ever question in the Thanet District Council, I put it through at the time to the Tory administration, what they're going to do for our travellers. I stood up for the travellers and I asked they need to be looked after, because these are the traveller community, is the people I may not have a land to live on, but as a Kurd, I know where they look, where they miss. They need a stability, they need a safe place, and they need the welfare to be looked after. I spoke in many meeting, and I stood in many places trying to be a part of the voice of anti-racism. The last motion in 2020 who went to Thanet District Council was anti-racism motion. My MP believed there is no racism in Thanet. As soon as he said there is no racism in Thanet, I handed him 6-page report of racism in Thanet. And then he had nothing to say apart to say I played a political game. So the 2015, when UKIP didn't allow the anti-racism motion even to be discussed in a council, we managed with a Labour minority lead of a council to get the motion through, and now the officers putting a report together to work on this. I don't want to take all night and talk about this, but we need to fight, because the people we are fundraising tonight for, they need us. They need every single of us. I finish was to say, be nice, be kind to the people, even if you meet them behind a keyboard, because you may see them, they smile, but inside their heart, they may be broken to pieces. Please support this cause, and thank you for having me here.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Aram. Brilliant, brilliant words as always. And I wish that we could be in a situation where the readers of well-known national newspapers who talk about the generic asylum seekers, whatever that kind of generic term means, and they should hear those last 10 minutes of inspirational words. Aram, thanks for everything that you do for your ward, for Thanet. This is not a Labour Party event, but for the Labour Party, which you and I are both members of. Other political parties are available. And also for standing up against racism. And that point you make around being more kind, I think that's a very, very powerful point. And I think now more than ever, with everything going on, is absolutely clear and loud from this meeting. So thank you, Aram, for what you do. Thanks for being here, and thanks for your inspirational words. Again, I know on the Facebook feed, there's lots of fantastic comments. So enjoy seeing those when you get a moment. I also want to make mention of the fact that our donations, so our target at the start of tonight was £250. We are now at nearly £700. A big chunk of that, and I want to say a big personal thank you as well to Dan McDonald, who many of you will know. He's donated both his organisation. They have a scheme for supporting local community and charitable organisations. Some of that money has come from that, and he's put his own hand in his pocket as well. So huge thanks to Dan. Dan, I know, will be out delivering supplies to people tonight as we speak in his day job. So huge, huge thanks to Dan, and thanks to everybody, whether it is £200 or £2.50, whatever it is, that will make a difference. So huge thank you. Coming up next, we've got a couple of guys who have had again, every story is individual and separate, but we'll be hearing from Jamal and Allah. They came to the UK a few years ago as refugees from Syria. They formed an alliance through music and a love of their community near Brighton, where they've now settled. Because of connectivity, we've got videos from them. The first is a short documentary piece on their life here in the UK. And then second, you'll hear a session played in their back garden during the lockdown in the summer. Here, handing over to Jamal and Allah.
حياتي الميوزك يعني أنا خلقت بدق ميوزك مع والدي وأبي. كان أنا عمري 60 سنة، كان عمري 20 سنة لما دخلت على الإذاعة والتلفزيون.
I started learning oud, playing oud over 25 years, but just for myself. So when I met Jamal in the Syrian community, so he encouraged me to do some things with the oud. That's why I back to play oud.
Met Jamal and Allah through an event we were involved with in January, which is actually where we met many people from the Sussex Syrian community in January, at a gig that we were involved in, and we got to know them over the year and become friends, which is nice. Jamal is a very well-respected professional musician, which was his job in Syria, as well as being involved in recording with several bands. He's played with a lot of musicians from around the world. Allah, he's been more of a kind of community musician, but him and Jamal are the main kind of two musicians from the Syrian community we're working with here. The Syrian Children's Choir is mostly run by Jamal and Allah and Hussein. Jamal and Allah kind of run the music side of it. I think for them it's quite nice to show they're involved in the culture that, you know, their parents kind of grew up in.
طبعا بدينا معهم بالسولفيج، السولفيج الغنائي يعني والعلامات، وبعدين حفظناهم الكلام من خلال البروفات صاروا يتقووا يعني. ايه طبعا يعني على المأدية يعني بيضلوا هن يعني بيفرحوا انه غنوا لبلدهم وقدموا التراث عن ببلد اللي هي بتحب السلام، بتحب العالم.
The kids are all quite confident and really enthusiastic. They obviously enjoy it. It helps the children because they've all come here recently. They've moved away from Syria, so it helps them sort of have an awareness and learn about their culture and their music. Now they're kind of living in the UK. We've had bookings for Jamal and Allah and some of the other Syrian musicians, kind of all around the southeast. We've had a lot of bookings for them this year, which is good because the money goes to the Syrian Hardship Fund. So the Hardship Fund pays for things like English language lessons. It pays for people's travel to go to the English language lessons. It pays for social events so people don't feel isolated and they can feel part of a community. It pays for help with kind of legal and translation things. Because a lot of the Syrian people that have come here recently, they've come here as refugees, and while you're waiting for your refugee status to be finalised by the government, you're not allowed to earn any money. They don't get much financial help from anywhere. The Syrian community, you know, very active in the last event. I mean, they ran a food stall, the Syrian Children's Choir played, and you know, lots of people from the Syrian community came and danced and enjoyed the music, which I know is only kind of one evening, small thing, but you know, hopefully it helps people. It helps go towards kind of people feeling welcomed here.
احنا بنشعر لما الانواع الثانيه مثل الانجليزي، يعني لما عم يحضرونا العالم البريطانيين عم نقرا بعيونهم انه هن مسرورين كثير ومبسوطين، وهن عم بيكونوا عم بيساعدوا هالعالم هي اللي جاي اللاجئين، يعني فنحن عم نكون مسرورين فيهم كمان.
Very happy. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jamal Assaka.
Hello, my name is Ala. I'm gonna play oud, and my friend Jamal gonna play percussion. We're gonna play 2 Arabic songs today. I hope you enjoy it. علي. غزل الوفا بتجودي بأمري يا حلو انهزل واصفريت ورودي هلي عقد الجبل والشمعة بعينيا عالياد الياد اليادي يا الليل عبيدية راح علي الهوى بيرجعك ليا ناطر عشوق النوى بعد الجفا ظل بالحب نرجع سوا يا نجمي تهلي ناطر عشوق النوى بعد الجفا ظل بالحب نرجع سوا يا نجمي تهلي محي ليالي الغوى منك عيني مالي تضحك لي زوم السما وتدلك عليا وعالياد الياد اليادي يا الليل عبيدية وراح حنين الهوى بيرجعك ليا وعالياد الياد اليادي يا الليل عبيدية راح حنين الهوى بيرجعك ليا نعم. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds really good. I just checked a minute.
Yeah?
Sounds
Good.
great.
Yeah.
Go, go.
من هام القالب من هام عدني من قام من هام من هام القالب من هام عدني من قام من هام وان جيت اشكي من شوقي واكثر ملايين الهام وإن جيت أشكي من شوقي يلقى عدي وسط الدار خدوا نجم العيوبي شعشع جبين ونوار يا معديلي من فوقي تجمعنا بحلو المبسام من هام القالب من هام عدني من ضام ومن هام وإن جيت أشكي من شوقي أكثر ملايين الهام يا معديلي يا إله يا مفرج كل الهموم يا منزل قطر السماء تفرج لي حال المظلوم عقلي شد وفكري تاه سنتين بحبه متهوم صحت بصوتي وويلاه على ظريف الهمام من هام القالب من هام عدني من ضام ومن هام من هام القالب من هام عدني من ضام ومن هام وإن جيت أشكي من شوقي أكثر ملايين الهام. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Perfect. Lovely. Okay.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's great. 1, 2. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely fantastic there. Great video. So thank you to Jamal and Allah, who, due to their Wi-Fi, obviously can't be with us tonight in person. But certainly, you know, inspiring videos, great music, and also great to see that community activity. And that's the sort of activity which your funds tonight will be supporting. Now, still to come, we'll be hearing from Andy from Care for Calais. We'll be hearing from JTL, not JLS. Don't get that wrong later on, whatever I do. Anthony Martin, who many of you will know as a truly fantastic local musician. Gary B. Lucas as well. But we've got a fantastic act coming up next. Somebody who I've had the pleasure to know for a number of years. Brilliant artist who has performed at Medway Love Music, Hey Racism in the past, has worked with somebody from Public Image Limited, but not the butter salesman, as I think he ended up being. But yeah, Wobble, fantastic performer. So they've collaborated, and I think 2 of those songs were on his albums. One Day, which is on his new album, which came out a few years ago, Redux. So we are really lucky here at Medway Stand Up to Racism to welcome the always brilliant Clea Llewellyn. Clea, the stage is yours.
So my lighting's a bit rubbish. I couldn't test it while I wasn't on screen. It's very nice to be a part of this event. Thanks for having me. I'm going to start off with an original song, and this is called Underwater. When the world is pulling you under and you don't want to play this game, everything around you needs to be different, but it all just stays the same. Underwater, when regrets are blurring your vision and you can't find the clarity to choose the right way to turn between the devil and the deep blue sea. When you feel you're underwater, I will breathe the air for you. Even when we're in the darkness, I will shine a light in the deep blue. Underwater, underwater. You don't know where you're going or remember who you are, and life feels like a dream. Call my name, I felt them waves. I needed someone to rescue me. When you feel you're underwater, I will breathe the air for you. Even when we're in the darkness, I will shine a light in the deep blue. Every thought is too loud and you need a place to rest. Come to me if you ever need to get the questions off your chest. When you feel you're underwater, I will breathe the air for you. Even when we're in the darkness, I will shine a light in the deep blue. When you feel you're underwater, I will breathe the air for you. Even when we're in the darkness. the deep blue. Underwater, underwater. Thanks very much, guys. I've got the Facebook live stream open as well so that I can see the reactions and stuff on the comments there, because it does help with the live performance if you can see that stuff going on. So appreciate that. So up next, I'm going to do a song by the Cranberries called Zombie. Sending lots of love out to everyone. Another head hangs lowly, a child is slowly taken. The violence caused such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Another mother's breaking heart is taking over. When the violence causes silence, we must be mistaken. It's the same old theme since 1916. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are dying. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Oh. When I was trying to choose songs for this evening, that one definitely stuck out. Just such an amazing song, but yeah, doesn't it just say it all? That one, and there's another one that I wanted to play. I'm not sure if I'll get round to playing it because it was hard to choose and narrow it down. Oh, also, I forgot to time it, so I'm not sure what time I've started. So I'm just going to scroll up the chat and make sure that that when you need to tell me I've got one song left, if you could do that, that'd be brilliant on the Zoom thing. I'm going to play another original song now, which I wrote a few years ago, and this one is a political song, but I'm a little bit cryptic, so unless I told you that, you might never know. But anyway, this is called Something Has to Change. open the locked in shame. But we forgive ourselves, cause we're not to blame. Tied up in knots with you, nothing that we can do. We could be a perfect circle, a win but we lose. Something has to change. Something has to change. Something has to change. Yes, someone free, but you're still in chains, tied to the tirade of a tyrant until it drives your mind insane. We're in trouble, I feel it in my chest. We had a dream in our back pocket, and now there's nothing left. Tied up in knots with you, nothing that we can do. We could be a perfect circle, win but we lose. Something has to change. 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 And I know that's all I know. 'Cause if we can't do this, nobody will from us down. But we're still in club. We break. Something has to change. Be a perfect circle, and win but we lose. Something has to change. Tied up in knots with you, nothing that we can do. We could be a perfect circle, a win but we lose. Something has to change. Something has to change. Something has to change. Something has to change. Don't you think? It was true then and it's true now.
True is.
Okay, so I hear I've got a couple more songs left to do. So I wanted to try and bring a little bit of reggae into everyone's lives this evening with my chips now varnish. And this is a song. This is a song by Bob Marley. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? Don't let them fool you. Or even try to school you. Oh no, yeah. We got a mind of our own, so go to hell if what you're thinking is not right. Love, and never leave us alone. In the darkness, you must is rocking, and you may stumble too. When you point your finger, someone else is judging you. Could you be loved? 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 Don't let them change you. Even rearrange you. Oh no. We got a life to live. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They say only the fittest of the fittest shall survive. Stay alive, yeah. Could you be loved? Oh yeah. And be loved. Could you be loved? And be loved. 'Cause you all miss the water until the well runs dry. No matter how you treat them, man will never be satisfied. Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Say something. Say something. Say something. Say something. Yeah, say something. Say something. Say something. Say something. Why don't ya say something? I can see you all singing along, even though I can't hear you, just by what you're saying in the comments and by the love hearts going up and that on the Facebook Live. I know that you're singing along at home. And thanks so much for being a part of this event. You're all cool. Right, so one more song. Now I've got to weigh it up. Which one do I want to end on? I'm going to end on this one, which is another reggae. Well, I've turned it into a reggae tune. You haven't ever been cool, says Vince Maple. He hasn't ever been cool. I don't think so. Solidarity from the Isle of Sheppey. Nice. And don't forget to share this event. Still more to come. Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. I got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problem. Some people out of luck. Some people think I can soothe the air. That happens above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't ask my opinion, ask me to lie, then beg for forgiveness for making you cry. Making you cry. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your name on me. This is Mushroom Mike, for those asking in the comment. Don't put your name on me. It's a jelly cat. Some people got the real problem. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve the air. Not heaven's above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me, yeah. Don't put your blame on me. I'm no prophet or Messiah. Should go looking somewhere high. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. I'm only human. Ooh. Don't put your blame on me. We're only human after all. We're only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the always incredible Clea Llewellyn.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Superb. If people want to hear more of your brilliant music, where should they go?
They should find me on an app called Twitch, which is not very well known. It's a gamer and musician live streaming app. The sound quality over there is fantastic. The community spirit over there is extremely cool. And it's a really nice place to be. So that's where you can find me most of the time during the week, as well as Gary B. Lucas. We are both on there streaming our little hearts out throughout the week. So please come over there. You can find me just searching my name, and I'll be there throughout the week, every week. So thanks for having me be a part of this event. And I hope that lots of people put some money in the pot.
Well, that certainly happened. Thanks again, Clea. Fantastic, brilliant performance. I can't wait to see you in person on a stage in real life, outdoors, hopefully, so that music can flow freely. Brilliant. That's the sort of amazing people we've got tonight. So thanks again to Clea. Check her out on Twitch. And as always, superb. What a great version of Human as well. That was awesome. All sorts of awesome. Now, I'm really pleased, not to sound like Bob Geldof or Terry Wogan or anybody else who talks about totalizers, but we had a target for today, which was raising £250 for Care for Calais, which I thought, well, Friday night, times are tough. There's no doubt of that. We'll hopefully just about get to that. We've already raised 3 times that. We're over £750. So huge, massive thank you to everyone who's donated. If you haven't donated, the PayPal, as if by magic, I think will be coming up on the Facebook page in the next 30 seconds. And people will often say, I'm happy to donate, but I want to know where my money's going. So really, as if by the power of magic and activism of the finest order, I'm going to be joined on screen in about 5 seconds time by the brilliant Andy Brown. Andy is a NEU member, really long-standing activist there, and a Care for Calais activist as well. He's going to give us a few words on what that means. And I know he's been out to support the activities that have happened there, as have many people in Medway actually, and I know that there'll be people who will know the work of Care for Calais. So Andy, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you very much, and thanks to everybody for the invitation and the fantastic event as it's been so far. I want to say 4 quick things really about where we are with the refugees at the moment. And I'll start with the refugees in Calais, Dunkirk, and the rest of the northern France and Belgium. And as you can imagine, many of you have been, as you can imagine, winter in Calais is really, really grim. It's particularly difficult this year because for the last 9 months or so, there has been a sustained attack on the refugees in Calais. All the settlements that you might have known if you've ever been there, all the kind of semi-permanent places where the refugees lived have been destroyed by the police in Calais and in Dunkirk. They are now living rough, destitute across Calais. They are living under bridges, in shop doorways, on bits of waste ground, underneath the overhang of a sports hall, all those kind of places. They are relentlessly pursued by the police. And there is quite clearly a coordinated strategy between the British and French governments to make Calais uninhabitable for refugees. In the face of that, Care for Calais continues to work every day in the refugee settlements, wherever they are. And sometimes we have to go and look for them because they've been destroyed overnight. In order to provide them with the basic needs, with the shelter, blankets, tarpaulins, tents, with food in many cases where they can cook. We do food packs. Where they can't cook, we do instant food that they can eat immediately, and everything that they might need in the winter to get through it. And that's what it's about. It's about getting through the winter. And they're able to do that, the refugees, because of the support that comes from Care for Calais supporters and many other organisations too that work in France, in Calais and in Dunkirk. It's very, very difficult, especially with the border and the lockdowns and all the rest of it. But we are nonetheless getting stuff out there, and there is a team of about 25 to 30 volunteers working there every day. The second point is this: when the refugees make it to Britain, if they do, what they do is exchange one horribly hostile environment for another hostile environment. And therefore, you know, we need to turn our attention to Britain. The first thing, I don't really need to talk much to you about being in Kent, but we know that some of the refugees are housed in what are effectively prison camps. Let's not beat about the bush. Migration is not a crime, and yet we have hundreds of people in Napier, in Folkestone and in Penally in South Wales, with plans for others, who are confined, who are in an environment which is immensely dangerous in a pandemic, who are kept inside during the day, who have appalling services where there are suicide attempts most weeks, regrettably, in Napier and in the other camp. And it's very simple what we should be saying about this. It's not that those camps aren't fit for purpose. They're not, but they're not fit for human habitation either. And the message is straightforward. Those camps must be closed. For many refugees in Britain, it's not the camps. They're living in hotels, in hostels, sometimes in houses all over the country. What the government has done in the last couple of years is systematically tried to exclude people from the right to claim asylum. And that's a right that's enshrined in international law, in European law and in British law. And yet the Home Office's policy is to exclude them from it. So we have thousands of people living in that sort of accommodation all around the country. We also have hundreds and hundreds, possibly thousands of Care for Calais volunteers who work around those hotels. It's a matter of providing, yes, sometimes food and clothing, but also registering kids for schools while they're waiting for their claims to go through, getting GPs, going to hospital, above all, getting legal representation, which is crucial. It's a massive network. None of us are paid. It's all voluntary, but we do need a vast amount of resources to go into it. It's a never-ending task, but it's one that's really crucial because it makes the slogan "Refugees Welcome" into a reality. The last thing I want to say is about the future. The immigration laws obviously will change and have changed completely with leaving the EU at the end of December. Therefore, there is a campaign issue about to be here. The government will try to enshrine in law the idea that asylum is impossible to get in Britain. That's what their objective will be. And it's incumbent on all of us to fight that and to make sure that there is a system where refugees can come to the country, where they can have a legitimate claim properly addressed, and they can be welcomed into the country. And that will be a priority in the next few months and for the rest of this year. I want to end just by saying a couple of things. First of all, immense thanks for your generosity. Every bit of money that's raised tonight goes straight to the front line. We have no bureaucracy because we don't have really paid in Britain. Everybody's a volunteer. So all that money, all those resources to which you're contributing will go straight to the refugees, whether in France, Belgium or in Britain. But it's not merely about charity for me and indeed for the organisation. It's also, we call ourselves a campaigning charity, and it's about the material needs of the refugees and making sure they're looked after. But it's also about building a society that's different. It's about building a society that is based on social justice, equality and solidarity. And that's what you contribute to tonight. Thank you very much.
Andy, fantastic words. Thank you so much for your time tonight and for everything that you've done for such an important organisation. I just wanted to ask a couple of quick questions, if I may. Firstly, if someone's feeling inspired and they want to get involved and perhaps get more practically involved for Care for Calais, how can they go about that?
Very straightforward. You can look, if you look at the Care for Calais website, either just Google Care for Calais and it will come up, or it's www.careforcalais.org. You will find on there, click on the tab Get Involved, and it will tell you about getting involved in France and Belgium. If you can work in Europe, it will tell you about the local groups, about the operation in Britain, and many ways in which you can contribute to that vision that we have. So look on the website, click on Get Involved and follow whichever step you feel is appropriate for you. You'll always be welcome.
That is fantastic to hear, because I know there'll be people who will be inspired by your words tonight and also will be inspired by Aram, as we heard earlier on as well, and actually will want to make a difference. So again, thank you on a Friday night for giving up your time, Andy. Really appreciated. And people can hear front and centre there. Every penny that's used goes to that front line, and sadly here in Medway we've lost an amazing activist woman called Sue Alexander, who I know had done a lot with Care for Calais. So I know that, you know, everyone's thinking of her family at the moment, but actually the work that she did again over in Calais and helping people in this country as well was second to none. Andy, thank you so much, and we will keep doing our best. The latest figure we've got is 790. I'm setting a personal target that we're going to get that to £1,000 to make a difference for Care for Calais. So again, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it. You've heard front and center there from Andy. Great contribution, really simple and straightforward. You know, this is what these funds that you've supported with tonight. You know, we're hearing fantastic musicians, great speakers, but tonight is about raising funds, and you've heard front and center there how that will help. So again, if you are in a position, and I know this is a really difficult time for people, and I know not everybody looking in will be able to donate, but if you are in that position to be able to do so, even £1 or £2, if everybody looking in puts £1 or £2 in, that will make a difference. So again, thank you for those who have already. Some have been very generous. Thanks to those who will as we go forward, and say we're up to £790 already. If we can get it to that £1,000 mark, that's 4 times the target that we had at the start of tonight. So that is pretty impressive. Now, coming up next, we've got another pre-recorded because of Wi-Fi. Again, you can tell where people live have got poor. They've barely got 3G, so they've done some brilliant recordings for us. So coming up next is Jack Carroll. Jack Carroll was born in Hammersmith, London, 1992. He grew up on the Isle of Sheppey. JTL is an up-and-coming rap artist, poet, as he says here, from the University of Hard Knocks. He's provided some recorded material because, again, obviously, reliability of Wi-Fi can be a bit of a problem sometimes. And to sound like a BBC One introduction to a show, please be aware this act contains potentially offensive material and language that some people may find offensive. With that, we hand over to JTL.
Yeah, right now it's GC. You're listening to my boy Jack the Lad, 2017, taking over.
I'm just trying to keep high front, cause police won't put us in the pot. But not much pop and that's mud. Got money on my mind, boy, I just gotta hustle. I'm just trying to keep high front, cause police won't put us in the pot. But not much pop and that's mud. Got money on my mind, boy, I just gotta hustle.
Y'all feel like like it's the last round. I'm about to pass out. If I don't make these bars loud, I can strut my own casket, grab my shovel, start to dig, 'cause I'm feeling grim, not speaking shit. You really shouldn't put it past me and take my best friend Stanley and start shaving up my arteries, spraying up your subs dash. I've been having the darkest suicidal thoughts way longer than the past few weeks. My man from way before I argued and blasted and punched my dad. I turned nasty right after mums, he passed away. Hardly 7 and she got taken away by the angels, went to the place named Heaven and straight rebel, straight faithless. I leave my RE glasses, I was like Arnie mad, but nothing could ever bring harm to Jack. To one pub party, I was getting classy and started laughing at this party man. Sparked me out and I was talking as he clamped me, ouch. All I remember is falling and put some force in the cunt, just knocked me out. About 20 odd seconds went and I got set for my revenge. I was stumbling, I went to glass and riding, running, saying sorry, broke my jaw before I slumped to the ground like a punching bag. But I'd be punching back just straight bloody balmy. Even when I knew I'd lose and get a bruise, and I'd still be choosing to be moving like some Tony Montana too. Tempt on an army, crazy middle school puff lad. Cracker Jack could show you where the buzz was at and front you offering a whole bunch of other drugs that fucker come down. I was like a pharmacist or a Snickers, a bit nutty, but it was nothing, brother. Chuck you fucking bum bag, get stuck on the roof for news for you. I'd just be laughing, always ready for any comebacks. All the ups and the downs, yeah. Always the stuff to prove to the rude boys till my back is arching. So I'm a cunt and I leave them puzzled like a Rubik's Cube. Oi, you can all suck between these arse cheeks. Tell you what I would do to you, even with your mother listening in your slut bag. Must have been the truest truth, boy, when it comes to the beast, but even the teachers love me. So weren't some stupid, useless student. I was smart and I was strong, much like a Spartan, but occasionally I was too wavy to make a statement like the class clown. Maybe I'd ask for the cars and leave the classroom with my arse out, just to prove I was cool and that as a laugh still. Even through my losses at that vulnerable young age, I'll make you laugh at. Loud, I take the class over, smash the teacher's glass house, gone rap him in his scarf, girls. Track the prick in his dark closet till the glasses out, and don't tell me to calm down. So I'm a rascal, one of the loosest screws. Thank you to my mother and my father, now where art thou? Broken heart is what the truth is doing. Music is my art, proudly I used it just to keep myself on hard ground. Out on this pontoon, this marshland, I'll keep recording, keep on shooting, stop the shot, it's truly my heart's vow. That's my path found, amongst the grass out in this half concrete, half marsh jungle. I can't dance well, rather hit the clubs and sell drugs to all the punters and the bar girls. Tax free, cash flip, waits till my arms swell. Still have that to show for it all, set my arms smell, so you could call me Bad Pit, Jack shit or Fartell. One man cartel, the ruthless nuisance harms girls. Clump slacks and friends jumping in to break shit up, that's fucking harsh, but that's the past. That's all past, so let it pass because we can't dwell. Man, I bun so much skunk to carry on and now I can't smell. Must have black lungs, like all my lungs crack, but I fight to the death. Now my name is fucking on back, bring light when it's dark out, and I keep on being followed by these overcast dark clouds. But I'm still on track, yeah, I just need a car now. I just need to calm down, I just need to maintain this one track mind so I can fast out. Across the oceans you might see me really far out. Got up on the horizon, a bright sunset makes you trance out. Is it a bird, is it a boat, is it a plane? Well man, I can't tell. Jack has got the answers, get your binoculars out. You'll have answers, man. Jack's off the Marcel, or he's off the Mars. Well, I doubt, I bet you might as well. Is that his heart pale, we're rolling like his marbles. He's probably off the plant fields, the crop yields and part sell to the poor health. A couple and say they can't help. I lift a member of the parliament's chin just like a dumbbell. The dirty non-bastards like to go.
It's got to be a rapper or something.
Yeah, it's rap. He's in the parcel, you arseholes.
I'm just trying to keep back, cause police won't put us in the pot. But enough, much pop, and that's mud. Got money on my mind, boy, I just gotta hustle. I'm just trying to keep back, cause police won't put us in the pot. But enough, much pop, and that's mud. Got money on my mind, boy, I just gotta hustle.
THC got me carefree, but DMT's got me wary. Swear G.O.D. sent me bare free, so I can never get crossed when I wear ease. THC got me carefree, but DMT's got me wary. Swear G.O.D. sent me bare free, so I can never get crossed when I wear ease. See the purple fox through the forest, means I can clock when you're not being honest. Means that I watch and I'm ultra responsive. Means I got buds in the box, no florist. I ain't gonna speak, no breeze, not Boris. I don't wanna read your leaves, where's Wallace? Be my own boss, I'm a dog like Gromit. On it now we're SOS, be the prophets. If you're gonna bring me the beat, I'll bomb it. Bro, I got love for the scene, pay homage. Yo, my name's Jack, don't lumber, but I'm logging. Had to cop that music, money like I promise. Yeah, I stay hard in the game, so solid. Lord, don't kill your son like Colin. I just gotta feel your son on these bollocks. Redding up my body, wanna swap it with the Robins. I ain't really down for that Mandy or Molly. No way, Class A's proper make me vomit. Sneaking with the split, so I quickly bring the bong in. Cops used to flip cause I look like a wrong'un. Now my ear just waving and bobbing. Haters at my doors, but I ain't really bothered. More than being poor, want the profit in my pocket. Cause all these other whack MCs pong a dog shit. THC got me carefree, but DMT's got me wary. Swear G.O.D. sent me bare free, so I can never get cross when I wear ease. THC got me carefree, but DMT's got me wary. Swear G.O.D. sent me bare free, so I can never get cross when I wear ease. Yeah, I really wanna break, I'm a builder. Tell me little fake what you know about filter. Can you see the proof in the truth, no filter? When you're going up and down like it ill does. Are you gonna stick to the deal when the deal's done? Bruv, you gonna carry on a mission if it's real tough. Here you go, strike and defend midfielder. Test judo, Roman soldier with a shield tucked. Are you about to fold like you're old and the wheel stuck? First you gotta find yourself, come the man of the ass. Then you get your road, no gilder. Are you gonna stay strong-willed like Wilma? Are you gonna take more pills like Lil Pump? Will you do it in time like the film? Or are you gonna be a big jar like Kilner? Life's not fair, yeah, trust me, I feel ya. Only living once, why you coming like a pilcher? I ain't even stopped at the pub for a chill run. Running for the gold for bronze and silver. I ain't got a diamond or blue, I'm not ilder. I just get my foxtrot on and bewilder. Listen to my instincts, I ain't feeling guilt. I'm free as a bird in the skin, but I'm still up. And I ain't coming down like 5G, I will bust. THC got me carefree, but DMT's got me wary. Swear G.O.D. set me bare free, so I can never get cross when I wear ease. THC got me carefree, but DMT's got me wary. Swear G.O.D. set me bare free, so I can never get cross when I wear ease. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. This some G.O.D. blast, freedom with Jesus. Is a quick leak from a kid that's always seems stuck. He's seen stuff to freeze ya, leave you with the weak heart, but still it alls and beats hard. Used to call him retard, now they call him geezer. Used to get bullied, but now I be the teacher. Leader from experience, he speaks up and leaks bars. It's real love, it's feel a bit guitar, he's living for his reasons. Sharply lost in query, loves the power of now. Breathes in and breathes out like the showers are. Wow, rough rider dog was some powdered up. Last night stuck tight, we got to bring the mountain top down. Earth, out she wears the full crown. Side fit lyrics together like Tetris blocks down. Shall not kill it, set beats, pick a sound, rip them out, bring them round, then we see them ask, ow, pow. I roll with God blood, my demons be forever scared. I go through anything, the devil's living everywhere. I learned this when I never cared, now I'm on better levels here. Feeling this intelligence, believing this is 7 cent. Roll with God blood, my demons be forever scared. Go through anything, the devil's living everywhere. I learned this when I never cared, now I'm on better levels here. Feeling this intelligence, believing this is 7 cent. How you gonna save if you're sniffing cocaine? Gotta make change, can't stick to old ways. Can't have a blowout or switch from both lanes. That's just 666, just live through cold snake. Please, geez, just live by your means. Bro, you gonna waste a binge in your wage. Lord, I got a princess, need to live to old age. I don't want an early grave, been a chase since day. But now straight boss when I floss with the cross. Really couldn't give a toss and swap with Rick Ross. Not what I really want is guap, just to build myself a plot. Me and my daughter concoct, yeah, it's long graph. Keep on keeping on, cause everybody's bonkers. Dog eat dog world, just gotta eat the better dog. Hopping in the pond, you wanna leap the wetter frog. Yes, on till the morning has come, I'll be off. I roll with God blood, my demons be forever scared. I go through anything, the devil's living everywhere. Learned this when I never cared, I'm on better levels here. Feeling this intelligence, believing this is 7 cent. Roll with God blood, my demons be forever scared. I go through anything, the devil's living everywhere. Learned this when I never cared, I'm on better levels here. Feeling this intelligence, believing this is 7 cent. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. man's distracted out of the bedrooms. Just escaping dictators and tyranny. Do the same, won't blame, that it isn't me. Not the black eyed peas, but where is the love gone? I can't spot much, it's a mystery. Watch your Ola L like Cam de la Landa. After bless that man, imagine the younger son got jacked to the dads and the mothers. Other never made it out of the country. Seeing peace flee from the government's greed. Rich rise stronger, the poor fall weak. New world order in order is deep. I can't have another bod ordering me. Share my request for the 1%ers. Die few lies, dirty bluffing peasants. Rest in peace to my brother in depression and every other soul in the world that erect. All products of troubles and famine. Prayer for the gypsies and everybody travelling. Angels guide from takeoff to landing. Fear no fight cause they talk our language. Snobs wanna call us pikeys. That's pikey, do what you likey. You never find another brother like me. Getting settled one day, that's likely. But for now I survive as a fox. When the hummingbird chirps I'm off. I've been trotting far and wide so long. Honestly I grew up wanting a box. Cause self-defense is too essential. But keep cool out here like menthol. So my favourite tool is the pencil. You don't wanna know about the school that I went to. In my circumstances I done well. Always praise the Lord, can everyone tell? Been running and busting the dumbbells. Kept sweating at all of that bud smell.
Hallelujah, your love lifts me. Hallelujah, your love comforts me. Hallelujah, you alone I can rely. Hallelujah, your love lifts me. Hallelujah, your love comforts me. Hallelujah, you alone I can rely.
Clocking homeless elders and morning jogs. Feel my heart bark like warring dogs. Wish I was young again, boarding frogs. Devil's not coming indoors, reinforced. One time for the immigrants. Saw corruption amongst all the innocents. It's not wrong, be free, that's intelligence. When these thieves don't care about anything. These cold dark times, hold your chins up. Got bars in a bar for my chin ups. Every weekend I used to pick chink up. I be that a raz from that battle like chin hooks. I worship for eternal living. Our Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. Like Jesus Christ, come give me your bringings. The rain round here is turning too acidic. I should have been a top politician. Promise I could stop what Boris isn't. I'd have probably gotten him locked in prison. Pleased to be me, won't drop for system. Strong as an ox for my daughter. I can never let her be a lamb to the slaughter. Unlike me, she getting actually brought up. So if I could put half, she'd be taxing a quarter. My worst lesson was sharing's caring. Then I learned life goes round, I was bearing. Only we gain through pain, I swear it. Made me choose there when truth or daring. Wrote these lyrics for the birds and the bees. We grew the roots from the dirt to the trees. We never took it all personally. Cause we're blessed with the love of God, certainly.
Hallelujah, your love lifts me. Hallelujah, your love comforts me. Hallelujah, you alone I can rely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to JTL, Jack the Lad, for providing great video there. Brilliant performance. Good to be safe, because I suspect on parts of the Isle of Sheppey that the Wi-Fi isn't fantastic. So great to have that pre-recorded. And thanks again for people sending in their donations. I know there's been lots of chat on the Facebook around, you know, can you pay by PayPal? PayPal will be open after tonight. So if you can't pay tonight, if payday is later in the week, then feel free to log back on, put it on there as well. I think the details have been put up if you want to do a bank transfer as well. If you want to make a donation that way, that will be absolutely fantastic. We're going to keep the brilliant music going. I know lots of people are here to show support for their cause, and that's brilliant. But it's Friday night and we are wanting to be entertained. And I'll tell you what, we've been entertained so far. And spoiler alert, the next artist is one of the best out there. Last time I saw this next artist, I think he was hot and sweaty, having walked the best part of 60 kilometers from London to Chatham to fundraise for the brilliant local charity One Big Family. So this is a man who time and time again steps up to the plate to make a difference, to make a huge difference to our community with his talent, his energy, his ability, and just happens to be one of the nicest blokes in the world as well. If you're into the music scene in Medway, you may have been to Antfest, you may have been to Ant Festival, you may have been to Hero Fest, or even indeed the Resurrock Erection. Let's try and pronounce that properly. And now, fresh from, let's say, walking 60 kilometers a few months back, he's going to be on your screen performing brilliant tunes. The wonderful Anthony Martin.
Hello. Hi. How on earth do I live up to that introduction on any level? My God. So it's Friday night. We're raising money for a good cause, and raising a lot of money. From what I can gather, it's over £750, which is amazing in one night of fundraising. Fantastic. So everyone's up for a great time. Normally I do a bit of crowd interaction, but because that's not a thing anymore, or potentially ever again, then this time I'm going to go, is everybody up for a good night? Yeah. I'm going to imagine you say, yeah. Okay, this next song's about organised religion. That's funny because it's, okay. I don't wanna see you anymore. The kind of things we talk about, I've heard them all before, and I've not got the strength to carry on. And by the time you're reading this, you know that I'll be gone. Well, you can fool yourself into devotion. I wish that I could too. I'm cynical and blind. I'm cutting myself off from emotion and fatigue. If you're feeling slightly ill at ease, just don't blame yourself. You did your best to please, and no one ever could keep me afloat. And at the risk of cliche, I'm leaving you this note. It's easy to escape, and I don't want to stay. So many different ways to go. Although I'm leaving you, I'll take you with me. You'll be part of my release. Can't claim you always kept your cool, but still I fell for you, and I wonder who's a fool. And now it's time for you to live your life. And after all you taught me, I'm sure that you'll survive. There's plenty more like me for you to cling on to, and you can suck it, jump them dry. When you fall asleep, you'll think of Virginton. I'll be a wet dream lullaby. I'm sorry, neighbor. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. That's overwhelming. That song's called Dear God. It's a band. Oh, it's got 10,000 steps during that. Hey! Apparently, if you play guitar instead of doing any steps, that's better because it thinks you're walking, but you're not. So, as Vince said in that ridiculous introduction, yeah, I do some stuff. I used to do things in the before times. I'm in a wedding band called Beer Pressure. We haven't done anything for a year. That's sad, but necessary. And also fundraising and stuff. So yeah, so for One Big Family, and also for this, I'm going to sort of try and over the next sort of 18 months, diversify my charity fundraising portfolio and try and raise money for as many causes as possible. So I do Help for Heroes. I'm going to do Stand Up to Racism and One Big Family as well. And One Big Family, a big place in my heart. And any sort of local community charity that looks after the homeless, because I don't know if anyone's aware, but my brother Jonathan was homeless and he passed away in 2019. It was very, very sad. I was going to do a song about him, but it makes me cry, so I'm not going to do that. That's sad. I don't want to do that in front of everyone. So, also, my dad, Phil Martin, former Hells Angel, he committed suicide in 2009, and I wrote a song about it, and this is that. Over and over and over it goes. No one can stop it, and nobody knows that there's something inside, and it's killing me, killing me, killing me. Killing me. I can't take no more. Tired and fading, I pick up the phone. It rings and it rings, but there's nobody home. As I leave a message, you won't understand that it's me. It's all in my head as I stand on this chair. You know that I'm sorry and I know you don't care. As I take my last breath, I can finally feel some release. As I take my last breath, as I wrote it, I should know it, my God. It's all done now. It's all done now. It's all done now. It's all done now. Now that I'm gone, I know you'll carry on. I wasn't your father and you're not my son. It's all such a mess, and I know that you won't be free. Now that I'm gone, I know you'll carry on. I wasn't your father and you're not my son. It's all such a mess, and I know that you can't be free. It's all such a mess. It's all such a mess. It's all done now. Can't take no more. It's all on now. Can't take no more. Hey, just that. Yeah. Woo. Woo. Nearly. You nearly got me. Stop it. So yeah, having just like, ugh, yeah, don't know. It's tricky. From a council estate, raised in a single parent family on benefits, had a free school meal and milk till someone took it away. The bitch. Actually, maybe. No, yeah, I think I was in that age group. God damn it. So just it's important to show solidarity with refugees, and the only reason that your people in general are encouraged to hate other people is because rich people want you to hate other people. So you're a poor person, they're a poor person, you have to hate the other poor person because the rich person tells you to. It doesn't make any sense. It's a bit more solidarity, and maybe we can turn it around and have a look at those guys. So yeah, I'm going to do one more song. Hope that's okay. And having been through sort of like being a, I don't know, like an indirect victim of male suicide, and obviously my brother who passed away in 2019 after struggling with homelessness, and obviously growing up in that environment, you know, it's not great if you've got ADHD and there's no support for mental health when you're a kid. So my brother sort of grew up with loads of difficulties, and was basically abandoned by the state and sort of living in shop doorways. People might know him as Wheelchair John from Rochester High Street or Chatham High Street. But yeah, we were estranged for sort of like 10 years. And then just sort of like 8 months before he passed away, one big family put me back in contact with him. And yeah, and gave me the opportunity to have a relationship with him before the end. So all you've got to do is look at how the government treats the poorest and most vulnerable people and think that that's how they would treat you if they thought they could get away with it. Anyway, this next song is about depression and how it's important to say something if you're sad and you are depressed. So yeah, so this is the last one. In this time and this place, you persevere with every day, with the world at your feet. Your freedom makes for sweet defeat. If you can't see the way that we have been betrayed, there's nothing to be done about this disarray. When it's hard to be who you are, say what you want, say something to me. We're out on our feet. You're afraid of the choices you make, but don't hesitate, say something to me. We're down on our knees. And say something to me. All the pain that you face, everything falls into place. You have dreams, but it seems they all get thrown back in your face. If you can't see that people can just be the same. The time it takes to break vows they made in our name. When it's hard to be who you are, say what you want, say something to me. We're out on our feet. You're afraid the choices you make, but don't hesitate, say something to me. We're down on our knees. Okay, so in the song, there's a Oasis style drum fill here. So it goes, when it's hard to be who you are, say what you want, say something to me. We're out on our feet. It's too late, the choices you make, but don't hesitate, say something to me. We're down on our knees, and say something to me. Please keep donating money to the cause. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, I thought it resolved on the A minor, but it's the C. Thank you very much. I've been Anthony Martin.
Incredible, Anthony Martin, as always.
Get my headphones in. Sorry, Vic.
Top of the pops, and yeah, inspirational words there as always. So thank you for what you're doing for not just Stand Up to Racism, but also those other great organisations as well. If everybody had a bit of Anthony in their life, the world would be a bit of a better place.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Anthony. How can people find your music? Both in these unusual times and usual times.
I mean, you could go on Spotify and have a look.
Listen to Anthony's music. It's always great. And hopefully we'll be seeing Beer Pressure back in flesh, in actual flesh and blood and real life.
I've got to learn how to play bass again.
Hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed.
Indeed. Thanks again for joining us tonight. As always, the brilliant Anthony Martin, true Medway legend. We're lucky to have him as part of our community. So we're nearing the end of the evening. We've got one more act and we're going to hear from Gary in a few minutes time. But before that, I'm really pleased to say that we've raised already over £800. Get those final, if you're sat there thinking, what a fantastic night. You know, if I was at the local pub, I would have probably I wouldn't have, as you know, but I would have had a couple of beers, might have had a kebab on the way home. You've done this from your comfort of your sofa. You've saved yourself probably at least £20. Why don't you put at least half of that into the pot, and that will make a difference. So that's fantastic.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you want to check your chat?
We've got an updated figure. I should be doing this in the style of a terrible live TV presenter. We're now up to 920. You know, the people have been inspired by those great performers, the great words from Andy, as we heard earlier on as well. And we're going to hear some more fantastic words from one of the coordinators of Medway to Stand Up to Racism. Great community activist, somebody who has always been on the side of trying to bring a fairer society. I'm going to hand the floor over to Steve Wilkins.
Thanks, Vince. Yeah. Yes, I mean, we've heard about the situation with refugees, and certainly, of course, in Kent, refugees are a very big issue. But I mean, racism is something that has grown massively around the world in the last few years. I mean, we're in the midst of huge crises, and of course, as I think Anthony alluded to, you find politicians looking to deflect blame and to look for scapegoats, and so as I say, it's not just here in Britain with the vile, hostile environment, but around the world. And in fact, we've seen the growth of the far right have grown massively in the US and Europe and other places. But the point is that they don't have to have it their own way. In fact, when you look at it, when it comes, people are prepared to mobilise. We mobilise far more than the racists do, far more than the fascists do. And the important thing is to build a movement. Earlier last year now, isn't it? Last year, the Black Lives Matter movement, which was absolutely fantastic. You saw the huge demonstrations. I mean, in Medway, we had six protests in 5 days. I mean, I've been around quite a long time in Medway, and we've never had anything like that. And of course, and this was the same around the world. Now, one of the big events that's coming up is on the 20th of March is United Nations Anti-Racism Day. It's an International Anti-Racism Day. And Stand Up to Racism have got together with the TUC, the trade union movement, and they are calling for local socially distanced protests. Normally, when we have UN Anti-Racism Day, there are big demonstrations in the big cities. Obviously, that isn't possible. But what we want to do is something everywhere around the country. And there's going to be an online link up from 1 o'clock on the Saturday with other parts of Europe, looking at all the protests. There's going to be at 5 o'clock, there's going to be an international rally that's organised by the TUC. We're in the process of thinking about exactly what we can do, and of course, to a certain extent, it will depend on what kind of restrictions we're under in a month or so's time. But keep looking at our Facebook page, and if you want to get involved with Stand Up to Racism, and I would recommend it, we need as many people as possible. Send an email to medwaysutr@gmail.com, and I'll put it in the chat in a minute when I shut up. And I think it's tremendously important that we get together, because when we get together and when we act, we actually can push back the racists, and we can, even more importantly, we can put pressure on the government, who are behaving absolutely disgracefully. And he was absolutely right. The whole point of the attacks on refugees is precisely to prevent them physically from being able to make the asylum claim that they are absolutely entitled to do so under international law. That's what it's about. And they've spent hundreds of millions of pounds in doing that. And it's an absolute disgrace. And we've got the power, if we all come together and act together, to actually stop them doing that and make them start treating people decently. And as Anthony said, it's not just refugees. They treat refugees badly. They can treat anybody badly, and will do if they feel that it's necessary to do so. So it's in all our interests to fight against racism, to stick together, and to build a better world. Please join us.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much, Steve. And as Steve rightly said, get involved. Drop that email. The email address will be in the chat in just a moment. And yes, now more than ever, we need that international solidarity. We've got rid of, thankfully, one tyrant in Donald Trump, thank goodness, but there's still a lot more to do to make sure that people aren't persecuted in that way. So thank you very much, Steve, and thanks to everybody. I know Lola, the chair of the local Medway Stand Up to Racism, is on as well, and I know she's wanted to give a huge thanks to everyone who's played their part tonight. Now, I understand, I think there's going to be a short film. I might be corrected or incorrected on that, and Ivan might tell me in a moment.
No.
An advert, or has that already been given?
No. That was just what Steve did, mate. Sorry.
That is. Thank you very much. So that was the verbal advert. I thought we were going to go to some terrible sponsorship deal with the United Nations. But not that the United Nations are terrible, they're great, for the avoidance of doubt. So let me say a few quick thank yous. I want to thank everybody who's been online throughout the evening. I know we've had a lot of great viewing numbers, so thank you for that. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for all of the participants, the speakers, the musicians, artists. It's been an international event. We started with Catherine all the way over in Santa Fe, and we're going to go via the Isle of Sheppey, a couple of brilliant conversations in Thanet, Medway, and we're finishing in Maidstone with our final act tonight. I will be back at the very end to give you the final figure. We are, I think, at £920. If you've been inspired by the brilliant words from Andy, if you've been inspired by the music from Catherine, from Clea, from Anthony, from JTL, if you've been inspired by Aram's story, if you just want to make a difference, put your hand in your pocket. If you can, I say, I know these are tough times and not everyone will be able to, but if you are able to, even another £1 or £2 will get us towards that target of £1,000. And that will make, so as we heard from Andy from Care for Calais earlier on, that will make such a huge difference. So I will be back at the end with the final figure. But to inspire you one more time to put your hand in your pocket, we have got a fantastic headline act. This is a singer, a songwriter, a producer. He is from Maidstone, but don't hold that against him. His debut album was described by Higher Planes as an acoustic pop rock tones, pushing along a gentle confessional record. So I don't know if that makes me the priest for the next 20 minutes for this confession. Who knows? I know you're going to be in for a good time as we put my headline out. Please put your virtual hands together, put some hearts on your Facebook for Gary B. Lewis.
Thank you so much. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for having me. I'm going to start with one of my favourite songs by Carole King. When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the skies above you should grow dark and full of cloud, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon you'll hear me knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. spring, summer, or fall. All you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you, yes, and desert you, and take your soul if you let them. But don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, running, running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend. Ain't it good to know, ain't it good to know you've got a friend? Ain't it good to know, ain't it good to know that you've got a friend?
Thank you so much for having me this evening. It's been really great to watch all of the artists who have performed so far this evening, and I hear that we've raised over £900 already. So if it could cross the £1,000 mark, that would be absolutely incredible. Hi to everybody in the chat and everybody that's watching at home. Such a great thing to be part of. Thank you for inviting me. I'm going to carry on with a couple of covers and do one original song later on. This is a song by Kate Bush.
It doesn't hurt me. Do you wanna feel how it feels? Do you wanna know that it doesn't hurt me? Do you wanna hear about the deal I'm making? It's you. It's you and me. It's you and me, won't be unhappy. And if I only could make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places, be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could. It doesn't hurt me, but see how deep the bullet lies. Unaware I'm tearing you asunder. There is thunder in our hearts. Is there so much hate for the ones we love? Tell me we both matter, don't we? It's you. It's you and me. It's you and me, won't be unhappy. And if I only could make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places, be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could. Come on, baby, come on, darling, let me steal this moment from you now. And come on, angel, come on, darling, let's experience. Oh, let's exchange the experience. If I only could make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill with no problems. If I only could be running up that hill. If I only could be running up that hill. If I only could be running up that hill.
Thank you for spamming the chat with all those hearts. Thank you so much. Hi to Kate, one of Kate's favourite songs. Yeah, I love Kate Bush. Thanks, Clea, and thank you to Vince. I hope the sound is coming through okay. I see your Carole King and raise you a Kate Bush. Excellent. Oh, that's great to hear, Catherine. Great to hear. Okay, I'm going to carry on with one more cover song, and then I'm going to do an original, and then probably finish with another cover. But thank you again for inviting me, and I hope those donations keep coming in. If we can pass the £1,000 mark, that would be absolutely incredible.
I did my best to notice when the call came down the line, up to the platform of surrender. I was bored, but I was kind. And sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, heal your heart, and cut the cord. Are we human, or are we dancer? My sign is vital, my hands are cold, and I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human, or are we dancer? Give my respects to grace and virtue. Send my condolences to good. Give my regards to soul and romance. They always did the best they could. And so long to devotion. You taught me everything I know. Wave goodbye, wish me well. You've gotta let me go. Are we human, or are we dancer? My sign is vital, my hands are cold, and I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human, or are we dancer? this system be alright? When you dream of home tonight, there is no message we're receiving. Let me know, is your heart still beating? Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold, and I'm on my knees looking for the answer.
Just 45 quid to go.
You've gotta let me know. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold, and I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human, or are we dancer? Are we human, or are we dancer?
Hey, so close to the 1,000 mark. That's incredible. Thank you so much to everybody that's given so far. So there's an original song that I'd like to play now, and it's interesting because I wrote this song with a friend of mine quite a few years ago now. I think it was back in about 2016 that we wrote this song, and it's just particularly appropriate for tonight because there was a lot in the newspapers at the time around refugees and the crisis, and we were kind of inspired by everything that we were reading when we sat down to write this song. It's called Sanctuary.
You took the bravest step, steered a tiny boat into a restless sea, leaving everything you knew, all the risk you took to get to me. Bridges burning, no returning. Halfway from home, mornings just touched your eyes, running from a place where even little birds didn't fly. Believe you can be free, and I'll be your sanctuary. I know you're feeling tired, I know you dream of everything you had before, but all that I can give, I would give 1,000 times and more. So close, so far, darling, you are halfway from home. Mornings just touched your eyes, running from a place where even little birds didn't fly. Believe you can be free, and I'll be your sanctuary. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Bridges burning, no returning. Halfway from home, mornings just touched your eyes. Please believe believe that I'll be your sanctuary.
Wow, so close. 975. Absolutely incredible. Wow. One more song. Okay, so we're going to finish with one more song. Let's go back to some covers, shall we? Let's finish off with... What shall we do? I'm going to finish with another Carole King song because it's just so brilliant. It's a great way to finish. This song is called Beautiful by Carole King.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Standing at the station with my workday window blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. And mirrored in their faces I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Ask myself a reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love will end the madness, maybe not, oh, but we can only try. And you've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel, as you feel, as you feel. As you feel.
Oh yes, indeed, the awesome Gary B. Lewis. Lucas, sorry, not Lewis. I'm thinking of another great Lewis, probably Carl Lewis. Now, if this was a normal rock and roll stage and we were having thousands of people cheering, I would go, do you want to hear one more? And the crowd would shout back, yes. And as we are so, yes, thank you very much. As we are so close to £1,000, Gary, can we have one more song before we finish tonight? It'll be a great way to rock and roll us off to the end with your brilliant tunes. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give some virtual love to Gary B. Lucas.
I'm going to finish with a song from a musical called Dear Evan Hansen, which is one of my absolute favourite musicals. And yeah, this is a great song.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare. No one's slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share. Hi Sandy, thank you. No, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong, but every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, I'm waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving when you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around? Do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling from a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, I'm waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving? Whoa.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up to the brilliant, sensational Gary B. Lucas.
Thank you.
Superb. Gary, if people want to hear, which I know everybody wants to do, where can they hear more of your great music?
The main place that I'm on at the moment is Twitch. So twitch.tv/Gary B. Lucas. It's live streams exactly like this every Monday and every Thursday afternoon.
That is, get your lunch, log on, listen to some brilliant music. There's been brilliant music all night, but the choice of music in your set, phenomenal. I will be logging in on Monday.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
Super. Once again, give it up for Gary B. Lucas. Let's see some love hearts on the fantastic Facebook. Thank you so much indeed. So I'm just looking for a final signature from the brilliant Ivor, who can tell us what we've reached as regards our final total. I know we were about 975. Where have we got to with our final total?
Well, just about literally 20 seconds ago, we're now at £1,005.
Boom.
And there's a few more promises for next week as well. So we're actually going to top that, which is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. And Ivor, thanks to you for making sure that that's Ivor's first drink, I promise you.
No, it's not.
I knew that. But no, thank you for making sure tonight has run smoothly. I think these things can be prone to huge issues, but you've made it run so smooth. I want to thank everybody who's contributed tonight. So that is everybody. Don't forget, we started with an international performance from Catherine Hiesiger all the way over in Santa Fe. We heard from the brilliant Aram Ralph, a councillor here in Kent, someone who's taken that journey and had to be on the other side of that coin. We heard from Jamal and Allah. We heard from Clea Llewellyn, who was superb with her vocals, as always, brilliant. We had her mushroom on the camera as well. We heard from Andy Brown, Andy and all the team at Care for Calais, superb. And we know from what Andy was saying earlier that the brilliant funds that we've raised tonight will go front and centre to making sure people who need that help get that help. Compassion, care, making a difference. That's what people have done tonight. We've also heard from Jack the Lad, Jack Carroll, who was a bit rude, but that's good. That's what it's all about. It's rock and roll. We heard from the always awesome Anthony Martin, who we are lucky to have in our community, who goes above and beyond every single time. We heard from Steve Wilkins and the whole Medway Stand Up to Racism team. Don't forget that event in March. Get involved. And we finished the night, of course, with the brilliant Gary B. Lucas, who actually did a Killers song better than the Killers, in my view. But don't tell the Killers that. So huge thank you to everyone who's been involved. Thanks to everybody who's been on the Facebook, putting the comments, keeping up the energy is what tonight's been all about. We overran by about half an hour. That's not bad. There you go. So keep in touch. Obviously, you've got the email, you've got the PayPal. We will see you next time when we are getting ready for more activity, more action. We've got to make sure that we keep the message out there loud and clear that we are here on the side of good. We're here to support people. We're here to make sure that compassion continues to flow freely throughout the Medway towns. Thank you so much for everybody being here. Thanks to Ivor. Thanks to the whole committee. Take care. Stay safe. And we'll see you soon. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Good night.